These are my health-related components of fitness. The first one is cardiovascular fitness. It's the ability of the blood system, heart and blood vessels to supply oxygen to working muscles during exercise. A sporting example for cardiovascular fitness is a marathon runner. They need it to maintain their running for around 26 miles. A daily life example of cardiovascular fitness is the need to walk up and down the stairs or to walk around the town shopping. The second one is body composition. It's the percentage of body fat compared to the lean body mass, muscle, bone, water, etc. A sporting example of body composition is a mesomorph, i.e. weightlifting. And other sporting example is if you are severely overweight, then you shouldn't go straight on to the football pitch and play the full 90 minutes. You should ease yourself into playing, i.e. only 10-15 minutes. And there is no real daily life example for body composition. The next one is flexibility, the range of movement possible at various joints. A sporting example is a gymnast. They need this to spin whilst performing on the parallel bars. Another sporting example is when you flex your leg to kick a ball in football. The daily life example is when you go to tie your shoelaces, you flex down to do it. The other daily example is reaching up to get the tin of soup off the top shelf. The fourth one is muscular strength, the amount of force that can be produced by a single contraction of a muscle. An obvious sporting example is a weightlifter. They need both muscular strength in their legs and arms to be able to hold up the weight for 10 seconds. The daily life example for muscular strength is carrying the shopping from the shop to the car. 5. Muscular endurance. The ability of a muscular group to continue muscle movement over a length of time. A sporting example of muscular endurance is a cyclist, as they need good endurance to last a full range at a high intensity. Another sporting example is a swimmer, as they need to pace themselves throughout the race to then have energy left to speed up near the end. The daily life example is after buying your shopping. If you don't have a car, you may need to carry it on the bus and then from the bus to the house. This may be a short walk on. I'm now going to be going on to the immediate effects of exercise on the body. These are as follows. Your heartbeat gets stronger and faster, your breathing deepens and quickens, your body temperature begins to increase, you start to sweat, your muscles will start to begin to fatigue. I'm now going to go on to the 3 steps you need to do when taking part in exercise. First one's warm up. This prepares all your organs and your body for the sport you're about to begin. The warm up also gets blood flow into muscles and the bone to reduce the risk of injury. Then you play your sport. It makes you mentally and physically fit. Then after you finish your sport, you need to cool down. It's time for replaying your oxygen jet to reduce the build-up of lactic acid. If you continue to play your sport and exercise regularly, then you surely start to progress to higher levels of training. This is simply because of the different things depending on your sport. For example, I was a footballer, and then there will be many different changes to both the inside and the outside of my body. These are the four changes of the heart. These are the right and left ventricle and the right and left atriums all become bigger, allowing more blood to be circulated around the body faster. The alveoli and lungs will start to rapidly produce more oxygen into the bloodstream and more carbon dioxide out. Our tendons will then become stronger, our ligaments will then also become more flexible due to stretching, and our bones will become a lot stronger due to there being more calcium being produced. My muscles will then become bigger. This is called hypertrophy. This is because while taking exercise, we use our muscles constantly. When we are using our muscles, we are ripping the tissue that we need to repair themselves. By this time, when they repair harder, so they won't break easily again. The 2 muscle fibers we have in our body are called the slow twitch fibers and the fast twitch fibers. Each one of these muscle fibers determine what sport you are going to be good at. For example, if I was a sprinter and I had fast twitch fibers and slow twitch fibers, I would be a good sprinter. On the other hand, if I have a high percentage of slow twitch fibers, I would be a good long distance runner. If we have a low blood pressure, then that is a sign of many different things, such as dehydration, diabetes, heart problem. But in many athletes, it's a healthy sign because they have more efficient hearts and more efficient cardiovascular systems, which means their hearts pump slower but with a lot more force. If I haven't trained in a long time due to an injury, etc., when I return to training, I would find that I am not as fit as I was a few months ago. And this process is called reversibility. This means that the progress I have made have been removed due to lack of training. When eventually I start training again, I will need to effectively start at square one again. I will need to start off slowly, then start progressing up, then up again. This will mean that your muscles aren't used to this amount of exercise yet, so I will become fatigued quicker, and I will also find myself out of breath easily as well. Over time I will see and feel myself return to normal. I'm now going to go on to the Fittle's principle. F stands for frequency. Frequency is where the athlete will need to keep training every day to bring about change. If there was a person that wanted to become physically and mentally fit, then they will need to start to attend regularly at a local exercise class, etc. But if they start to pick and choose when they go, then they will find it hard to become healthy again. The next one, I, is intensity. Intensity is how hard you work in each training session to progress. In a training class, you will need to work hard, to intensify yourself, to excel maximum output. To correctly work out your training intensity, you'll need to follow this equation. HRR, heart rate range, equals max HR over RP, resting pulse. THR, training heart rate, equals intensities slash 100 times HRR plus RP. As an example, take someone with a maximum heart rate of 200 and a resting pulse of 50. This gives a HRR of 150. To calculate the THR at 80% effort, follow this equation. THR equals bracket 80 slash 100 times 150 close bracket plus 50 equals 170. This gives them a heart rate of 170. If this was just calculated as 80% of 200, a value of 160 would be obtained. This principle is an excellent way to work out training heart rates in a more precise way. T, time. Time is how long you train in each session. The athlete will find it quicker and get harder to become fit if the trainer makes a training session last longer. Also, the athlete will find it harder to up the training intensity. The next T, type. Type of training must be relevant to the sport you play. The trainer will need to research a few useful techniques and skills for athletes to do. For example, if I was trying to be a sprinter, then there is no point if I was to work on the abdominal muscle training. They need to focus on the arm and leg muscles, which are biceps, triceps, and calf and quadriceps. O, overload. You need to work above your target zone that your body can deal with the oxygen debt and your fatigued body when undergoing training. Psychological adaptations resulting from training leading to having an improved physical fitness, as it is dependent on the appropriate training, stress or load. This training overload must progressively push the body beyond the level it's used to and more resistant to fatigue. R, reversibility. Reversibility is where if you were to stop training, the progress you made would be diminished. If you have been training for a long period of time and then have to stop due to injury, the progress you would have made would be taken away due to the lack of training you have been doing. If it has been proven that if you train intensively and then lose 1 week from your training, it will take approximately 2 to 4 weeks for your body to return to normal. Specificity. Specificity is making sure that the training you are doing is relevant to the sport. In a study in 2008, if your athlete was training to become a swimmer, then the trainer would need to make sure that they design a work schedule to improve the muscles and bones that the swimmer needs. Thank you.